Hi everyone, it is Bridget here from Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, wishing you a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I hope you are well and I hope you are safe. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Bridget Cooks in the Kitchen, in the Healthy Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing quite a well-known but also very popular dish, but simple. I like things that are simple, delicious, and something that we might even recognize. Now this particular dish that I'm doing is, we call it a lettuce cup, which is basically a bit of iceberg lettuce, so a really crunchy lettuce filled with a really flavoursome minced meat. You can get it very typically in Chinese cuisine. It's known as Choy Bow. But the version that I'm going to be doing for you guys today is actually a Thai version, which is known as lap gai. So I've actually got a copy of it here for anyone who has more from Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. That is what we're going to be cooking today. You can see it's a Thai style. You can do chicken mince, you can do turkey mince, beef or lamb. I'm going to be doing turkey mince today. So I'm going to be doing a turkey lab, which is going to be this delicious tasting mince. We're going to pop it into a lettuce cup, and it's literally like portable food. You can hold it and you can eat it, and it is just fabulous. And sometimes you get the lovely juices dripping down your hand. It is marvelous. But not only am I going to show you how to make lap gai from more, and if you are playing along at home, it's on page 101. I'm also going to then take the basis of the lap gai and turn it into what is my absolute #1 way to cook. And it's also not just cook but eat. And it's also how I recommend to anyone. If you're wanting to really optimize your health, if you're wanting to really optimize your weight loss or your weight maintenance, then how I eat normally, this is like a 6 days a week, is this way of eating is really going to help to boost you and to benefit you. It's how Mahi and I eat all the time. It's delicious, it's easy, and it makes sure that we get optimum nutrients. So we're gonna finish off with that. But we're going to start off with the lap gai, and the reason we're doing a recipe from more is on special. We have our Christmas special running right up to Christmas, obviously, and more is now available for $20.95, which is the cheapest we've ever had it. So you can buy one for yourself, you can buy one as a gift. Now is the time if you are gifting it, especially if you're sending it outside of Australia. So that's counted as being international, just to make sure it gets there on time. So we are working from more today. 101 is the page. Come on down to, and I love actually it's one of my favorite photos in the whole book because it's bright and it looks like you could literally just jump in and grab it off the plate. Grab it off the page. It's absolutely amazing. So come on down to my desk. Oh, my desk. Well, it is kind of my desk, I suppose. My bench, my desk. It's all that sort of stuff. Let's get into the recipe. As I was saying, it's really simple to do, and it's really versatile. So yes, I am going to be making this lettuce wrap using turkey mince, but there is nothing stopping you from using obviously chicken mince, which is what is in the recipe. You can use beef or you can even use lamb. So I'll leave it up to you. You could also do a vegetarian version using tofu. So super versatile. So we're going to work straight into my pan here, my wok. Turn it on to sort of medium to high heat. We're going to start off with a bit of sticky sauce. You could also use low sodium tamari, but you know what? I want to bang the flavors up here. So I'm going to be adding in sort of half a tablespoon of sticky sauce, and this recipe is enough for 2 serves. So you just obviously, if you're making more, you just double and triple it up. But we start off with that. The next thing that we're going to think about adding in is our wonderful aromatics. And that's we're adding in half a tablespoon of chopped garlic and half a tablespoon of, oh no, it's a bit more than that. I've got 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. I love ginger, can you tell? If you don't love ginger quite as much as me, just go with 1 tablespoon, but yeah, I like ginger. Right, give it a bit of a stir. We're going to saute this off. As we're sauteing it off, we are, all the steam is being released from the ginger and the garlic, which means the flavors are concentrated, which is exactly what we want to happen. And you want to give it a bit of a stir fry, all doing this on medium to high heat for around about 25, maybe 35 seconds, somewhere along that line. But we're literally just trying to, intensify the flavor. And that's what heat does, because as the heat hits the ginger and the garlic, it begins to steam, and you can see all the steam coming off, and that's the evaporation of water. And water, as we know, doesn't have much flavour. So by doing this, we are adding flavour, so much flavour to our ginger and our garlic. So that's really cool. So after about 30 odd seconds of a nice quick stir fry, the fragrance are already just jumping at me. It's just so amazing. We're then going to add in our turkey, chicken, beef, lamb mince, or even if you wanted to, as I was saying, you could use tofu. Just use a really firm tofu, chop it up into small pieces. It would be amazing. So you can even go full vegetarian on this particular dish if you wanted to. And of course there's lots of really good protein in tofu and the soy. So keep on giving that a bit of a stir fry. Everything's been done, as I was saying, on the same heat. At the same time, I'm just going to talk you guys through the spice blend that I've got here. So this is my Thai blend that I make myself. The recipe for the Thai blend, of course, is in the book. And I have marked it so you guys can get a bit of an idea of what I have inside my Thai blend. And this is one of those spice blends that I make up and then just kind of have anytime I want to add a little bit of spice to something. And you guys know me, I like adding spice to things. I really like spices, spices are great. So with this particular spice blend in here, I have lemongrass. It's all ground, by the way. Lemongrass, I got black pepper, there's a bit of garlic powder. Just think of these flavors. Yeah, that's really, really awesome. There's some ginger, there's some dried mint, there's a tiny bit of chili. I've also got a tiny bit of white pepper, which is very commonly used in Asian cuisine as opposed to black pepper. I've got a little bit of lime zest in there as well, so a little bit of cumin and a little bit of salt. So what you actually have here is the most fabulous spice blend that just goes with so many different things. Like, it's not just for this dish. This is one of those, spice blends that you can just have sitting in your pantry, and every time you're cooking something, maybe making a stew, add a little bit of spice blend. Maybe, you're even sprinkling it on your fried eggs. It tastes amazing. So you can see now that I've kind of got this mince at a stage where there's no water down there. It's all kind of evaporated out, which is perfect. It's cooked through. By constantly doing this, or doing a lot of stirring, I've managed to keep the mince broken up, which is what you want from this as well. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn to my spice blend. I'm going to make sure how much I'm going to put in there. I can't remember how much goes into there. What is it? 101, I think it was. There we go. So with the spice blend, our Thai spice blend, I'm going to be adding 3 teaspoons, which is about 3/4 of a tablespoon. So a decent amount goes in there because you want to have a decent flavour from your lovely little mince. That goes in there like that. Give it a bit of a stir. Oh, the smells! Wow! It just hit me in the nose. That was fabulous. Alright, and then sort of the second to last thing that we're going to add into here, apart from salt and pepper of course, is I'm just going to add a little bit of water. About 60 mils of water, which is about 2 ounces, because I want to create like a little bit of a gravy with it. I don't want it to be really, really dry. I actually want, you can see this lovely moisture that we've got in here now. I actually want it to be a little bit on the moist side, because that's going to be really delicious once we put it into our lettuce. So I'm just going to turn that down and kind of let that tick away just a little bit. And I'm going to add into, now this is optional, I'm going to add a little bit of chili. Like I said, you don't have to add the chili if you don't want to. But I'm going to add just a little bit of chili. And I'm actually going to be quite sneaky and just kind of chop it up into those sort of rounds like that. Just pop those in. If you wanted to add more chili, just make sure that when you are prepping your chili, that you get rid of the seeds. Because the seeds can, especially if you don't like a lot of chili, the seeds tend to be where the heat hangs out. So if you are prepping your chili and you're like, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a bit of chili in there, but I kind of want to avoid that real spicy hit, then you want to get rid of the seeds. And also just the top of the chili there, where it meets the end bit, that's where a lot of heat is located as well. So if you sort of get rid of those, you will find that there's less opportunity for you to to catch on fire, I suppose. So I've got a little bit of chili in there, but if you don't like it, don't add it, or if you're making this for kids. And the other thing that we're going to add in there as well is I've just got a little bit of coriander here from my garden. I've got a little bit of coriander, so I'm just going to chop up just that little bit of coriander. I think in the recipe it's a couple of teaspoons of coriander. Ideally the stalks if you have them, because that's got some really good flavour in the stalks. Pretty happy with this. I'm going to turn it off now, and then I'm going to add in my coriander. I'm not going to add it in and then fry it, because it's quite delicate, when you start adding in herbs, and you don't want to overcook them and for them to lose all their gorgeous flavour. So that is it. This is like how seriously easy this dish is to make. Is already within a couple of minutes we have created the filling. And now all we need to do is think about the lettuce cups. So I have a whole iceberg, and I definitely suggest that you use iceberg because you're after that crunch. It's that textural component of adding this delicious, flavoursome minced ingredient into a really crunchy bit of lettuce that gives it such an amazing and wonderful eating experience. So taking your whole iceberg, you kind of want to avoid, if you can, taking a knife to the lettuce. Because if I was to cut the stalk out, what tends to happen if you're putting a knife onto lettuce, especially iceberg, is it'll start to go brown on the places where the knife touched the lettuce. So if you want to avoid that and sort of keep your lettuce going for as long as possible, don't put a knife near it. Unless, of course, you're chopping it to eat it, straight away. Apart from that, and you want to save, because obviously I'm not going to use all this lettuce, and you want to save your lettuce, then by all means, just use your hands to extract your cups. And the best way to do that is take that stalk off. Sometimes you have to kind of push it down like I did to get a bit of leverage. And then I'm just going to pull it naturally apart as it comes apart for me. Take out the middle bits and try and find something that resembles a cup. A little bit like that. So I use that one. Don't waste those, obviously, you can use those. But for this purpose, I am looking for the perfect shaped cup. I'm annihilating this lettuce, but that doesn't matter because I'm pretty happy with, actually, that for me is the perfect shaped cup because you can hold it in your hand, which is great. So I'm going to go with that one today. But as I was saying, this makes two very decent sized cups. So let's give that one. Well, actually, you make four. You can do 4 cups. So it's 2 per person, which is wonderful. So once you've got your cup sorted and you're kind of happy with it, obviously make sure it's clean. If it needs a little bit of a wash, just rinse it under cold running water and then just gently shake it free. And then all that's left for you to do, of course, is to take your mince. I hate serving with a wooden spoon. I have to use a pet peeve. Take your mince, and it's lovely and moist now, which is what we're after. Take your mince like that. Go back to your chili if you wanted to. You could chop up a bit more chili and add that in. But really for me, the key to this just being awesome is the fresh herbs that we're going to add into it as well, because it just gives it so much flavor. So then we're just going to chop down, or you can just pick off the lovely small leaves of the herbs, and then they get sprinkled on. And if you wanted to, there's nothing stopping you from just adding a little bit of pepper there, a little bit of salt, and what you're left with is literally the perfect portable meal. It is so ideal. Now, if you are making this and then you're taking it, it's leaving the house, what you would do is you would keep the lettuce cup separate, you'd keep the mince meat separate, and when you're ready to eat, you heat up your mince and then you combine it. So you don't want to have soggy lettuce. So if you are making this into a portable meal, you just remember to keep things separate and then combine them just before it's time to eat. Because obviously even now, the lettuce is beginning to soften up just by the fact that it's got some mince in there. So that is, for me, that would be the perfect dinner. A couple of those. I know I'm saying dinner. The reason I'm saying dinner, and this brings me to the next part of the class today, is the reason I am saying dinner is because the way that Mahé and I eat is we have a really big lunch, which is our main meal, and we have a small dinner. So something like this would be perfect for dinner where we don't eat too much. But if I was making this for lunch, say I had some leftover mince, this is what I would do. This is what I want to show you guys. For me, it's just one of the best ways to eat. And what I've discovered by eating this way, and I speak about it often, some of you probably even know where I'm going with this, one of the best ways about eating like this is it doesn't require a lot of pre-cooking. And in fact, what I'm going to show you guys, all I've literally done in order to make what I normally make for Mahé and I's lunch is I've emptied out my fridge. So in my fridge, I always have bits and pieces because we are going to be making a gut healing bowl using leftovers, because that is literally the best part about the gut healing bowl is it uses leftovers. Honestly, it's the best thing. So find yourself a bowl. Remember, this is for my lunch, and lunch, me and Mahi's lunch is normally a bigger deal than dinner. Dinner is something like that wonderful labgai or Choy Bow, a couple of those, ideal. But if we're wanting, what we normally do is we will look at something along these lines, which I have here on my tray, that is going to give us, sustain us with, good quality nutrients. There's a lot of dietary fiber in here as well. So I'm getting a really diverse and really good range of food, and I'm eating at lunchtime. So I'm allowing the big meals at lunchtime. So I'm allowing my body time to use up that food and energy rather than having a big meal at night and then I don't do anything after that. I literally just, veg out and go to sleep. So for us, having the bigger meal during the day makes so much sense. So just a bit of an idea of what we can do. So leftovers, right? That's roasted fennel. So I'm just going to put a couple of bits of fennel in there. And one thing that you will notice when I'm doing this gut healing bowl is that majority of it's going to be vegetables with minimal protein. So majority vegetables. In fact, I normally try to put 4 to 5 different types of vegetables onto my plate, and then just a small amount of protein. So if you're getting more vegetables into your diet, you're getting more fiber into your diet, you're getting more diversity into your diet, you're feeding your good healthy gut bacteria. And this is going to aid you in not just weight loss, but also weight maintenance as well. Because dietary fiber, things which comes from vegetables, dietary fiber is key to weight loss because it helps us feel fuller longer. These are cassava chips, by the way. There's some more leftovers. They help us feel fuller longer, but not only that, they also help to regulate blood glucose release. So you won't be spiking your blood glucose as much because fiber that you find in plants and vegetables and nuts and seeds, dietary fiber helps to regulate blood glucose, which is amazing. So another little vegetable I'm going to put in there. Why not? A little bit of crunchy cucumber. The vegetables that you're seeing, the cooked ones, were literally just leftovers from the last couple of days of what we've been eating. And I always have, as you guys know, pickles of some description in my fridge, and these are pickled vegetables, which I love because now we're moving into the fermented foods, which once again are so incredibly good for us, so delicious. And I mean, you've made yourself a pretty decent sized meal already, and you haven't even got to the meat part. This is just all the fiber. This is all the vegetables, all the tasty vegetables. Let's not forget how delicious kimchi is. Now, kimchi is in the book more. It's in the book. As well as, I think I have 5 gut healing bowls that you guys can try as well. Let me see if I can track that gut healing bowl photo down. So these are another example of my gut healing bowls. There's 5 recipes for gut healing bowls in the book. Plus, of course, there's my kimchi. Always like to add a little bit of kimchi, and we know why. Dietary fiber. This is a prebiotic, so it is, as well as being delicious and having all those wonderful vegetables in there, being a prebiotic means it feeds our healthy probiotics. So it feeds our gut bacteria. And as I was saying, I still haven't added any meat, but now I have. Ta-da! Look at that. I mean, already that is delicious. That is so good. But let's just add a few more bits and pieces because I've just got them. I've got them on my tray. A little bit of red cabbage because it looks good. It's always good to eat the rainbow. A little bit of red cabbage. This here are my broccoli sprouts that we grow ourselves. So now we're adding in like a major boost of sulforaphane, which is once again incredibly good for us. Gives a bit of texture, gives something, a little bit of vibrancy on there. What else have I got? I've got some walnuts. Now walnuts are also a dietary fibre. So there is fibre in walnuts, which is really good. And of course there's healthy fats in walnuts. But yes, there is some fibre content in there. And there's a little bit of a crunch, which is perfect. So that is looking good. I'm going to move this off now and finish it off. Ooh, all right. What am I going to finish it off with? Well, what else is there? Fresh herbs from the garden. Because we want flavour. We want, things to really pop in our mouths. Because one of the keys when it comes to eating healthy is to have a plate that looks that good, is that good for you, but it tastes as good as it looks. You've got all these different textures here with just that minimal amount of meat there, but you have a plate of absolute goodness. So this is how you will find me and Mahei eating pretty much 6 days a week. So Monday to Saturday, this is how we eat. On a Sunday, we're a little bit looser. We're a little bit more free. It's kind of like our feast day where we relax a little bit. But Monday to Saturday, I look forward to lunch every day because this is what we eat. And if you look at just the combination of vegetables that we have on there and flavors and textures, who would not love to receive a bowl like that for lunch? And all I did was took things out of my fridge and then put it into a bowl. Well, I made some lettuce cups as well, but that doesn't take very long. And suddenly I have lunch, and then I have leftovers, which is going to be lettuce cups for dinner. So it's so easy to do when you have your staples there, like all your pickles. Come up here. You have your pickles all ready to go. You have your garlic chopped and your ginger chopped and your sticky sauces there, so that it's not as painful to be able to get into the kitchen and to create something really healthy and really delicious for yourself. So this for me is the key, one of the key components that really helps with Mahei and I being able to maintain this, what was essentially a very dramatic weight loss to begin with. It was 30 kilos in about 5 and a bit months for me and 15 kilos for Mahei in 30 days, which is a dramatic weight loss. But we have continued to keep it off by eating like this and making sure our diet is full of dietary fibre, lots of plants, and minimal amount of protein, because you've got all the stuff you need in here, minimal amounts of dairy as well, but not minimal amounts of flavour, because otherwise you get bored. I never get bored eating like this. And if you're sitting opposite me, all you'd hear is, oh my goodness, oh, it tastes so good. Oh my God, I forgot how good this tastes, because that's what it's like pretty much every day, which is exciting. So you can do this as well. It's not hard when you've got your basics all set up ready to go, and then you can start to really, really look after your health, really, really look after your gut health as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed how, seeing how easy it is to make that wonderful lettuce cup and then create a gorgeous gut healing bowl. And I hope as well that you try these things, because that's what it's all about, is giving it a bit of a try and seeing what you think as well. So thank you for joining me on today's episode. It has been an absolute pleasure having you here. Do not forget that more is on special, $20.95 at bridgets.shop if you'd like to get a copy for Christmas special that we're running. We have erythritol in stock, we have fiber syrup, we have inulin as well, is in stock, and we are launching our very special new program, which is Bridget's 28-day boost camp this weekend as well. Keep an eye out for that. We'll let you know when it's all ready to go, and you can join us and learn all the tips, all the tricks, all the hints and all the good habits to staying well and staying healthy. All right, guys, take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you here soon in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. Bye.